businesses have a higher chance to fail in this period because of the instability of the economy. All right, and most businesses that has to even do with importation are even getting riskier because of the instability of the FX. All right, so inflation is really bad, and we already know. I don't have to say so much about it because it's like me preaching to the choir, which I don't want to do. But I can tell you that one of the biggest things that can kill any business, that's killing businesses today, that will continue to kill business today, is inflation. And it's having a great toll on the entire economy in Nigeria. All right. But the big question yet this evening is that, is there an escape? All right. An escape for me who's a businessman, who's an entrepreneur, who's trying to solve problems in a profitable way, is an escape. Um, um, this is bringing me to a very exciting topic today, which is the gold mine in the foreign exchange market. All right. Now, one of the places where you can get money from, where you can get money to fund your ideas, to fund your dreams, to fund your business, is a gold mine that probably you're aware of, or probably you've not heard about. All right, where you can market. It's a very robust market. Right now, because I'm not a financial advisor, I always put a disclaimer every time I talk about the financial market. All right, so what is the foreign exchange market? Right, the foreign exchange market, and who can play in this industry? Who can play in this market? Now, the first thing you need to know is that it's a global market. So it's not one Lagos market. It's not one, what do you call that market in Lagos? Marina market, Balogun market. No, it's bigger than that. It's a global market with high liquidity. So when I talk about high liquidity, let me explain what liquidity is. Like real estate, real estate might not necessarily be a high liquidity market because you want to sell property today, you may not get a buyer. All right, but the foreign exchange market, if you have even $1 billion in it or $1 trillion in it, you can cash out instantly. All right, the liquidity is high. Why? For one simple reason, because all that happens there, the only language that is speaking in foreign exchange markets is currencies. All right, and this market runs 24 hours every Monday to Friday. So as I speak with you, it's not sleeping. As a matter of fact, it's a market that connects all the continents together, from North America to Asia to UAE, right? And the major financial centers in foreign exchange markets is New York. That's why we have the New York opening, the London opening, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. The first time I was introduced to this market was when I was 19. All right, and it got me to read a lot about the foreign exchange market, and my mind opened even deeper into the foreign exchange market. And I've always never wanted to stay away from this market because I understand that the gold mine in this market is something that cannot be exhausted. It's inexhaustible. That's how big this market is. Now, it's a $6 trillion market cap every day. What does that mean? That means the size of transaction, the transaction volume that happens in that market under 24 hours it's a minimum of $6 trillion. Now, I don't want to go further to explain what $6 trillion is, right? That is countless zeros in Naira, by the way, all right? Because why? It involves banks transactions, and I'm going to explain this really shortly. If you buy goods from China, you're shipping it to Nigeria. To buy goods from China, you need what? You need the yen, all right? No, the RMB, all right, from China, all right? So how do you convert your Naira to RMB? All right, who determines rates? Who determines those rates, those conversions? All of those things, when you're converting one currency to another currency, that's where the foreign exchange market is, the exchange of currencies. All right, now all this flipping that happens, all right, are counted as transactions. And every time there's a flipping, somebody makes money. All right, every time there's a flipping, you're converting dollars, you're converting dollars to yen or yen to pounds or whatever, there's a flipping. All right, that somebody makes money. All right, and how do you make money from it? Because this flipping takes place all over, random, billions of transactions. All right, every single day. Somebody's trying to hit China, somebody's trying to get to Japan, a businessman in America is trying to start a business somewhere in South Africa, somebody in Hong Kong is trying to process a transaction. Now, all of those transactions, bank talk to banks, all of those kind of things, FX is involved. FX is always the middleman. Without a foreign exchange market, Nigeria cannot do business with the world. Without a foreign exchange market, countries cannot do business against countries. Like businesses outside a country cannot communicate with business within a country. Now, it's such a big market that we have all of the top players in the world playing in this industry, like the banks, the central banks, the financial and business institutions, the brokers, just name it. And apart from that, it's such a massive gold mine that if you understand these flippings, all right, you can actually create a pipe and make money from it every single day. And this is an example with one of the biggest players then up until now, Josh Soros. Josh Soros actually shut the pound in the 90s and he made over $1 billion from a single trade. Now, as I'm speaking right now, somebody's getting adrenaline rush. Wow. Wait a minute. Before you get too excited, all right, everything that looks really good has a bad side. So let me tell you the bad side about the foreign exchange market. The bad side about the foreign exchange market is that 99% of players like you and I lose money every day while trying to access this gold mine. What do I mean? Now the market has been decentralized, meaning that anybody right now can take advantage of this flipping. So I give you a real-time example. Sometime last month, I converted Naira to dollars, all right? And then the rate was about 610. Yeah, I converted at 610, all right? And in the space of 3 weeks or thereabouts, Naira went to 700, all right? So then it cost me 61 million to buy $100,000, all right? So after about 3 weeks, it will cost me 17 million to buy $100,000. So that would be 9 million Naira more. So myself was smart enough to convert my 61 million to 100,000 when dollar became 700 Naira to $1. If I sold my $100,000, I would have made 9 million Naira profit, easy peasy. Now, the only reason why I made 9 million in about 3 weeks, for example, is for one reason. I knew that dollar was going to go up in value against the Naira. And the only reason why I sold my dollar when it was 700, get to 710, as a matter of fact, I mean, someone called me there at that point, and I said, look, at this point in time, we're going to allow the market to take a break. All right, no, 650, you have to sell. So the people who followed our conversation, I mean, those who flipped $1 million made about 90 million. And guess what happened? Boom, they sold at 700, 705. And now they're going to, they bought back Naira. They converted a Naira to dollars again when it fell to 650. You see how you flip it? That's what happens in the foreign exchange market. Now, in our own case, it's difficult for you to flip Naira to dollar. If you want to go to, in Lagos, you want to go to a hotel to go and say you want to flip $1 million to Naira, you know, well, who's going to give you that money? Banks are going to be on you and all that. But now they've created a platform in the foreign exchange market as a platform where you can flip all these things, all right, from the comfort of your home. So you don't have to go anywhere to flip from pounds to euro, from euro, you know, from euro to whatever currency, to USD or whatever. But however, the big question here is, when should I be buying a particular currency? And when should I be selling a particular currency? Now, those who bought Naira, those who bought dollar when Naira hit at 710, right now at loss, when the value of Naira. Can we mute, please? All right, thank you. So what I'm saying, Excellence, is, you know, now you are busy at what you're doing. You know what you're doing, you know your business, you know all of that. Now, a lot of people have tried to learn how to predict the flipping and know what to do or know, you know, when to sell, when to buy and all of those things. Now, those who have attempted it, someone will tell you, pay for a signal, we'll teach you, whatever. All of those things, they keep losing money repeatedly. All right, that's the bad news. Bad news is that 99% of people who try to get this money lose money. But now, who are the winners? 99% lose money. Who are the winners? Well, only about 1% of the players are successful at this. And this includes the banks, foreign managers, institutions, and the likes. And the reason why they are successful at it is this. because they have inside secret about the market they never reveal to the public. And this include what? They use like high level, next level, trading tools, AIs, artificial intelligence, algo trading, high frequency trade executors, like crazy things. It's like you get into Wall Street and see how the activities go on there. It's crazy, guys. So imagine you are going on a race. Someone is sitting in a Lamborghini while you are sitting on some Volkswagen, that small Volkswagen they call Toyota's car, and you want to race against him. Even a baby can tell for a fact that the guy on a Lamborghini is going to win that race. Now that is why the 1%ers are the ones that keep making money out of this, because they understand the entire system. They create a transaction. They know for a fact what is going to happen. They are like not 100% perfect, but they have very smart predictive algorithm to make this happen. Now, why are you on this call today? You're not on this call to learn anything new. All right. So please, disclaimer, I'm not going to teach you about the foreign exchange market to learn how to trade. That's not why you're on this call. You're on this call because I want to invite you. It's an invitation to win like the banks. How can you raise money from a gold mine, just like the foreign exchange market? We now have access to a plug and play system where institutional experts do it for us, and it does increase our chance of success. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to show you. How does it work? Right. Now, there are 3 steps for you to start getting profit every single day from this market. Every single day. But if I talk about the 3 steps, I need to tell you 3 things that you must know first. Number 1, you don't need any trading skill yet. You don't need any knowledge for you to make money every day. Number 2, you don't have to refer anybody. You don't have to market anything. Number 3, there are no daily activities that are needed. I told my friend yesterday, I was talking to a lady. We're trying to share with her the opportunity to go in the foreign exchange market. And she said, oh, I've always wanted to be in the foreign exchange market, but I don't know how to go about it. Then I asked her a question. I said, what are you? Are you an engineer? She said, no. I said, but do you have a car? She said, yes. I said, do you know how to drive? She said, yes. I said, really? Why? Because the car is designed not for an engine. And cars are designed by maybe mechanical engineers and automobile engineers, right? But it was not designed for all engineers to drive. So I'm giving you a system in which you don't have to be an engineer to drive a car. Doctors drive cars. Housewife drives cars. Any kind of person can drive a car without knowing anything about the technical part of cars. So I want to show you how you can make money from this gold mine called the foreign exchange market without knowing jack from it. Just 3 steps. Step 1, which is the only thing you have to do. The other 2 steps, it's not your business, but it's good to know about it. Step 1 is that you're going to purchase a license with this institutional expert. Step 2, it takes about 5 to 8 administrative process where this license you purchase, this fund gets into the pool of funds, the global pool of funds, where they are trading tons of hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. Now, step 3, on a daily basis, they share profit with us every single day, Monday to Friday. That's all. Step 1 is only what you have to do, buy a license. And 5 to 8 working days, by then, your license would have been added to the pool of funds that they're trading through the algo trade system. Then you share profits with them on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. And what do you get? You don't share profit with them for life. The license comes with the 16 months contract cap. All right. Within the 16 months, we have a history, okay, of generating up to 300%. And I'm going to break it down for you. Now, there are 3 things you need to know. These profits that are generated on a daily basis, all right, you can withdraw it at any time. So you can withdraw it daily, weekly, monthly, whatsoever. And also, the last thing you also need to know is that you can cancel your license, okay, at any time, provided it's not gotten up to the 8th month. All right, once it's not gotten up to the 8th month, you can apply for cancellation of your license. Now, these are the different license output scenario. Like, what are the possible outcomes you can get within 16 months? The first one I want to tell you about is about 160%, which is an average of 10% every other month. All right. But in this case, all right, it's if you start to make a withdrawal before the 8th month, because you affect what they call compounding process. So if you start making a withdrawal before the 8th month, all right, you will only be able to total output of 160%. So what do I mean? You put in $10,000 and you start making a withdrawal every day or probably before the 8th month, the maximum you can get at the end of the 16 months is $16,000. So you get an additional $6,000 in it. Number two, if you allow it to compound, all right, you allow your trading outputs, all right, because the more you leave it in the system, the more they have more money to generate, more benefits for us. If you allow it to compound for 8 months, after the 8th month, you start withdrawing, the total trading output at the end of the 8th month will be 200%. So what do I mean? Put in about $100,000, all right, and allow it to compound for 8 months. By the time you compound it for 8 months, you would have gotten your $100,000 back in total. And the remaining 8 months will be another 100,000 given to you. So what that simply means is this. I know of somebody, but though, right, I heard a story of a guy. He pays his rent for like about I think what he does is that his rent is probably $1 million for him in his own case, because people using this for different case scenarios. So what he did is that his rents, he start buy a license worth $1 million, and by the 8 months, it's got back, it's made $1 million back, and that he can pay his rent, and the remaining 8 months he gets another $1 million. So that's some very creative ways people can, play around with the different license opportunities that are here. And of course, the third opportunity or third scenario is, should you decide to allow the compounding to run for 16 months? Because every time you withdraw, you affect the compounding. So should you allow it to run smoothly for 16 months? By the end of the 16 months, you will have a total cash out of about 300%. Meaning if you start with 100,000, by the end of the 16 months, you have $300,000 to cash out. Now, of course, the last case scenario is recycling. For the recycling, what you're simply doing here is you can do the short holding or the long holding, right? Now, for this case, you allow it to run, you compound it for entire 16 months. And at the end of 16 months, you could decide to either do short holding or long holding, and that's 100% on you, whatever you want to do. All right. And that brings me to two things about the system. Number one, the system is flexible, meaning you can withdraw at any time your benefits on a daily basis, and you can cancel on or before the 8th month. And the second thing I will tell you about is that the system is transparent, and I'm going to show you. You can track exactly what is going on in the global pool, the global trading funds, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. So for the recycling, as you see here, at the end of the first cycle, let's say you start with $1,000, all right? Or let's say you start with $1,000, triples to 3,000. At the end of it, you can do short holding and say, okay, maybe I just want to take away my initial license cost and plug back the 2,000 by buying more licenses. Please understand that at the end of 16 months, you stop receiving daily benefits, all right? Now, if you do that, for example, and flip it through, you will notice that if you go through the long holding, taking 1,000 to 3,000 in the first cycle, and you flip 3,000 again to another times 3 again in the second cycle, 9,000, you flip it again from 9,000 to 27,000, boom, that's how you say it. And the beauty about this system, because this system is solid, which I'm going to show you, and very strong, there's no end to as many cycles that you can go through. But remember, it's money that we're using, all right, to return money. Okay, so it's a real system, all right? It's not a money doubling system, it's a real system. We're making this money from foreign exchange market. I told you how, well, with $1 million, you flipped $1 million against Naira, all right? Someone could have easily done 90 million Naira in 3 weeks. You just knowing when to buy Naira, just knowing when to sell Naira. That's it. But in this case, in this time around, you're exposed to all the currencies in the world, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollars, just name it. Now, you don't have to know all of those, Jack, all right? There's a platform that has solved all of those problems for you. Now I showed you case scenario 5,000 to 135. And these are the different license costs. All right. It starts from $100 up onto the $50,000. Now, but it doesn't mean that it's the maximum. All right. You can buy multiple licenses within in one portfolio at the same time at different times. So meaning you can buy, if you want to buy, say $200,000 worth of license, that means you have to buy like 4 VIP licenses or 50,000, or you can combine them. And at the same time, you can top up your license portfolio anytime you want. But remember that every license you buy has got its unique 16 months contract period. And that's it. Now, this brings us to the most important part of this meeting. Okay, a part of the excitement. Remember, it's exciting now that you can now make like reasonable, you can now benefit from the gold mine. It's a gold mine, guys, remember, from the foreign exchange market, without knowing anything, without having to know anything, without having to market anything, and without having to do anything daily. All right. So who are these institutional experts and why should I work with them? Now it's time I need to flip to my, well, let me see. Let's see what we have in here. Sick. It's time I have to flip into something. How transparent is this platform? Now, if you go in, because it's good you get these details, because I mean, we're talking money here, and you have to be sure of who these people are. Now, they trade with a strategy called the NEFTU strategy. And this website link is available for anybody to read. It's open to the world. And this shows their transparency. The strategy consists of an active discretionary trading focusing on major FX pairs, that's foreign exchange pairs. All right. Now, the team behind this strategy is headed by a trader who studied at top US business school, afterward developed a passion for trading in 2003 and has been trading for large firms ever since. All right. And if you look at it, he has experience in capital markets, warrants, equity, options, and future trading, which provides a good all-round understanding of the market. The management team behind this strategy has over 5 decades of experience within the financial service sector, focus and specialty in technology solution. That is a big deal here. All right. Now, this strategy system went public in October 2010. That's when the strategy inception date. All right. But remember that these guys didn't start working in the foreign exchange market. It's been there for over 5 decades. I mean, combined in terms of management team. Now, they've done a total gross, they have a total gross growth of about 732%. And their average monthly return is about 15.59%. And their maximum historic drawdown so far is a little below 10%. Now you can come in here and see their performance from inception when they went public. In October 2018, when they went public, they did 26% growth in their portfolio. In November, it was 22%. Up until this year, you can see from 2019, 2020, it's open to the world for everybody to see. And in 2022, where we are in today, all right, their best performance was in March, where they did 60% growth in their portfolio. And their worst performance, which is also profitable, okay, was in May, which they did about 12.6%. Where August, so far, we've done only 2%. All right, and you can see this, you can track it real time. But now this is the monthly stats. What about the daily stats? Remember, I said this market runs 24 hours, Monday to Friday. You can see for a fact the trading pairs and the results. You see, there are some losses and there are some profits. But remember, what is most important here is your profit should outweigh your loss. This is real business. This is real trading they're doing. All right. And we always say we're perfect, but our history has shown that we are 100% profitable. Now, that's about it. And yes, you've got to know that about how they generate the funds and what exactly they do. So the name of the institutional platform is Omega Pro. Now, before you say anything, I need you to look at the vision of Omega Pro. Why are they doing this? Now, Warren Buffett said something, and I'll quote, it's probably, they call him the oracle of Omaha, probably one of the smartest investors of all time. He said, I don't buy stocks, I buy companies. I buy into visions, all right? Because stocks can flip up and down. So there are a lot of people who could probably do what Omega Pro is doing. So why Omega Pro and why is Omega Pro different? The vision is clear. Omega Pro intends to become the Facebook of the foreign exchange market. What do I mean by Facebook? Now look at Facebook, for example. Facebook vision is simple, to connect people. So somebody in China today can connect with somebody and befriend somebody in Nigeria, and probably they can get married or do business through Facebook. That was the vision of Facebook. Facebook made it possible what the likes of a number of people have attempted in time. And because of the success of Facebook, we've had a lot of people who have made more attempts, like TikTok, like Twitter, just to name them. All right. But for Omega Pro, they said, we want to become the Facebook of the foreign exchange market, meaning that we want to create a system where novice, where common people who do not have a lot of, who don't have time to learn anything, they don't have to learn anything, can connect to the gold mine and take their share in the gold mine in the foreign exchange market. So what it did was assemble the best of the best brains, all right, the best of the best strategy and the best of the best system, all right, to provide a vehicle. Like I said to my friend, you don't have to be an engineer to know how to drive a car. You don't have to be an engineer to enjoy the benefit of owning a car and driving a car. Now, you don't have to go through, you don't have to know all of those things. You don't have to be all of those things, but you can take advantage of the gold mine and foreign exchange market and raise funds for your business. Take advantage of the gold mine and foreign exchange market. Now, while you're sleeping, money is working, because while you're sleeping, money in Zenith Bank is not working. As a matter of fact, it's depreciating. All right. So that is the thing. Now, today, we don't only just have a vehicle that gives us an opportunity to stay ahead of the inconsistency of the economy worldwide, most especially affecting developing countries like our own. But also we have a system today where you can benefit from the gold mine. Remember, the foreign exchange market is the only place that has never and can never be affected by inflation or recession. Why? Because at every point in time, you're flipping. That's it. The value does not stay. It doesn't conserve value. It's like energy, it flows. And that's what it is. So one thing you need to know is that Omega Pro founded in 2018. It's a multi-industry company specialized in commodity and currency market sector. They're currently in over 200 countries, all right? And they have an excellent track record. And I'm going to show you the website. The last thing I'm going to do right now is show you the website, more about that. And 99% of their clients are happy in over 200 plus countries, with close to 2.5 million people across 200 countries who have bought their license and are getting benefits every day from the foreign exchange market without knowing anything or lifting a finger. Now they have different products, like the Algo Trader Expert is what I told you about. Right now they have the e-banking online, they have the crypto exchange, and they have way other financial products, and they keep expanding. Now, in terms of their trades, they have a history of about 78% of trades of their trade closing profitably. Now, Omega Pro was a simple idea, all right? Just like every other great business today, Amazon, Tesla, whatever. Oh, I've got a dream. I've got a vision. Oh, I see a problem, so I want to solve it. Now, when Omega Pro started in 2018, it was like a simple idea. But guess what happened? Because of the growth, because of the success of the system, Omega Pro grew to become too big, and now it's a conglomerate. So now Omega Pro had to break into other bits of companies, all right? Like you can see the exchange in Singapore, the OMP born in the United Kingdom, Neptune Trade Hong Kong and the likes, and they keep expanding and buying in new businesses. Now, the last thing before I show you the website is long-term vision and foresight. That got me. In Panama in June, Omega Pro hosted over 15,000 of their clients in Panama, where the CEO was speaking. He said, well, one of our things that we don't just want to be here like a flash in the pan. This is the beginning of a legacy. We're solving a problem that a number of people before have tried to solve. We're not just only solving it a different way, we're solving it to remain. We're solving it to produce the real champions that has always been in our hearts. And you can see the reflection of their long-term vision and foresight. Foresight is your ability to see something before most people see it and take advantage of it and capitalize on it. All right. And you can see that in their roadmap from 2018, how they have grown. It can be tracked, right? Because you can predict someone's tomorrow by looking at how he's been doing his whole thing yesterday. But what should interest you most importantly, all right, two things I love about all of this, apart from their product expansion and the likes. In 2020, Omega Pro went from trying to be a big retail platform to an institutional trading platform. That is when they went next level. That's why I can close my eye comfortably and go to bed, and I know my money is working for me. That's another level of thinking. But by 2023, Omega Pro will be preparing for listing in the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. So what does that mean? PLC, public liability company. Yeah, that's it. So now you will be able to buy stocks of Omega Pro just like Tesla and whatever. Why are they going this way? Because Omega Pro has to get out of the hands of the 3 smart founders and get into what the public, right, and take this next level. Now I'm going to end by showing the website, all right, because it's good you know these people in details, right? And before I hand it over to our host for today, and this is Omega Pro website. It's an international company. It's quite global. And they have faces of Omega Pro like superstars, just like what Coca-Cola would do, just like what Tesla would do, right? You grow up to an extent, you want to be, be properly positioned. So Omega Pro is well positioned as a world-class brand. So it's not just some cock or small company somewhere trying to hide and snap the word. They have the international office there in Dubai. But I needed to look at the Omega Pro story. It's a beginning of a legacy, an idea that became a community that became a lifestyle that has created champions, and champions today who are transforming lives. And the last thing I want to look at is their community. They have over 200 plus countries. They have close to 2.5 million members. And these are the top performing countries, top 10 performing countries in the world. And since inception, they've been running successfully with no stories. Anything anybody writes about Omega Pro online, reply or check the replies and say, is Omega Pro owing anybody? They've never owed anybody. They've kept to their promise 100%. 3 years, 5 months, 24 days, 20 plus hours. So I'm closing with this. What am I closing with? Well, I've been able to show you how you can consistently make money every day from the gold mine and foreign exchange market, right? And without you having to lift a finger, and how you can even smartly take advantage of the different opportunities in terms of the scenarios of the output as a business person and say, okay, what do I have to do here? What do I have to do? Thinking here and there, all right, and take this next level. So thank you very, very much for your time. We've got another opportunity, all right, but that's strictly for influencers. Just like people want to play with the likes of the JJ Okocha, the Ronaldinho, because these are the global influencers, where you can go beyond 300% and actually make profit of up to $50,000 every week. Now, don't tell me that money is too big, because people in Nigeria and all over the world, as a matter of fact, over 500 plus people make $50,000 every week from Omega Pro as influencers. And how are they doing it? It's very simple. Today, you heard about this meeting because somebody was interested to tell you about it. Now, that's optional, but I tell you the truth, brother, it's also another big gold mine. So once again, thank you very much for your time, and over to you, Mr. Stallone. Thank you.
Whoa. Thank you very much, Mr. President, Engineer Joket. Thank you very much. You have really nailed it there, okay? And we've come to learn how exactly we can raise money for our projects, and or maybe even to expand our projects, to start new projects without necessarily resorting to the banks. Okay, so if I have one more thing to show you guys, since the president also said that there's a possibility for you to make a whole lot more than 300% in 16 months. People make up to $50,000. And so if you have any $50,000 a week, that's what I mean. So if you have any questions, please, it's okay to put your questions in the comment section, or to raise your hand electronically or so, mute yourself and ask your questions. I believe that many of us here are business owners. We are struggling with, we see what's happening in the economy, and we're looking for a way out. So this is purely a business conversation, okay? Just to, while you're thinking about a question, I want to show you briefly in a minute or two, someone who is actually earning $50,000, one of the many people who is actually, who are earning $50,000 every single week. I just show you that real quick, just to show you that this is not made up. You will see live. This is the person's business transactions, what exactly is happening and what the person has done. It's just an example, just to help us to think and say, stop blocking your minds. Now, let's take a quick look. Give me a moment. Let me quickly pop that up. So here is the person. I believe you can see my screen. This is Mr. Bonaventure Iwanugu. Okay, we had to interview him to say, hey, what's up, what's happening? And take a listen.
So you can see $7. That's 7% of $100. That was my very first earning. The next 7 days after this, I did not earn anything. You can see. If you add 7 days to 21st of July, it should be 28th of July. I didn't earn nothing. It was 0. So there's nothing here. But 7 days again from 28th of July, it was 4th of August. I earned $147. The next week, I earned $40, $100, $120, $200. This is somebody that used to supply woods in millions. Somebody that is used to making good money. All of a sudden, I abandoned the company. When my wife was putting much pressure on me, I told her, my dear, I hand over to you. You continue to do it. Let me face this one. At that point, she got mad. She said, you know what she said to me? She said it was like our village people has finally remembered us. Finally. And not that they remembered us, they caught us red-handed. And so it wasn't easy at all. You can see $210, $70, $30, $20, $50, $12, $120, $210.
Okay, so this is just to show you that it's a real business. He started somewhere. That is for those who want to go beyond making 300%. But let's take it for time's sake. Let's move forward a little bit and see what happened shortly after. Okay, so that you know that this is real and it's not being made up. Okay, let me fast forward a little bit.
You can get to make a decisive decision. So you can see then 1,000, 3,000, the first 3,000 I earned, I was in the business. Okay, March I was good. You see, it continued. I came down to 4, 5, 14. See the first 14,000 I earned. That was October 20. That was 18th October 2020. Yeah, and see the time. See the first 15,000 I earned. 12,000, 11,000, 14,000, 24,000. That's the first 24,000 I earned. That was in November. I'm still in Abuja. I need to go to Lagos today, so I have a flight to catch, and I need to go take my bath and then, be able to do that. Yeah. So let me just go quickly from, let's say, 1st of January 2021 to 2022, yeah, to this moment, yeah. Let me just do. The 2 January, exactly 11 o'clock. Otherwise, I miss my flight. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. So quickly, I'll just show you this, and then that's till this moment. This is July 26th. Yeah. So I click on view. Okay. Wow. and click on view.
Omega Pro company.
So from 2nd July 2022, here you can see how that's this year, 2022, 2nd July.
All right, folks, can you see on the right-hand side, take a look at my cursor here. Can you see it's 50,000 all through, except this 35,000, they are all through. Just take a look. This is just to show you that we're not making this. This is a live interview. We say, look, you know what? Let us see your business. Let us see. People were asking. Let us see at least. And this is not just one business account we've seen.
You can see how the 50,000 is. Yeah, up till the last earning was but you can see there was a point of $35,000 here. So don't skip this one. That's the 3rd of April 2022, $35,000. But you can see the last earning, that's 24th of July 2022, which was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's on Sunday because payments are made on Sunday. So you can see this. But I just had to.
Okay, so that's it, folks. We've shown you how you can, it's a two-way thing. We've shown you how you can actually get this done, how you can make some money without going to the bank passively. And if you want to also be an ambassador and say, I want to make more than 300%, I want to be making $50,000 every single week. This is just one example. Finally, before we go off, okay, or if you have any questions, I need you to understand this is not the end. What we're trying to say here is that this is not the end. This is just a means. It might just be that your business is struggling. You need some more money to boost it. It might just be that you want to start a new business and you just need some money to start off. It might just be anything. Like I told somebody yesterday, we were having a conversation and I said, imagine if you had your child in school, your child gained admission today and the child will spend 4 years in school and you put $1,000 into buying a license and you flip that $1,000 into 3 cycles within this community. That $1,000 passively without you doing anything would have become 27,000. It would go from 1,000 to 3,000 first cycle. Second cycle would go from, please let's mute. Second cycle will go from 3,000 to 9,000. The third cycle will be from 9,000 to 27,000. By the time the child is out of school, you just have $27,000 and say, go and start your life. It's not going to be a case where the child leaves school and starts to hunt job on the street. You can flip this anyhow, apply it to your real estate project, your own business, whatever. But the foreign exchange space is a gold mine. All right, so the story is told. Go back to whoever invited you, whoever referred you for which you got this invitation, and say, you know what, I'm ready to get my license now. You can get your license from, say, $500 to $1,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 or $50,000. Whatever you can carry. Say, this is what I want to put in, and my life will never be the same again. The next 16 months, by November next year, you're telling a different story. So you've got 2 options. Go get a loan from the bank and start your business or increase your business or grow your business. Or your equity contribution here is buy a license, and the next 16 months, the story is different. Thank you very much. I assume we don't have any questions. Let me check the comment section. All right, I assume we have no questions. Thank you very much, Engineer Joke. Thank you, all of you, for being patient. We are sorry, it was supposed to be a 1-hour meeting. We've gone 5 minutes ahead. We apologize for taking your time. Please go back to whoever invited you and get started today. If you have any questions, ask them. They will always come back to the community, and we're willing to help from the bottom of our hearts. Good night, and do have a beautiful night rest.